What's going on, guys? This is DropThisBox, and I hope all of you guys out there are having a fantastic day today. And today we are going to continue our coverage for the Spider-Man franchise. And we made it through the Tobey Maguire movies. We recently just finished up the Andrew Garfield films. So now we're going to focus on the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, starting off with Spider-Man Homecoming, which is the first movie within that trilogy. So this should be very fun to get into because I've been waiting very patiently until we got to this very moment because I really did enjoy these films. Obviously, I'll give my thoughts on the other two films in separate videos, but let's talk about Spider-Man Homecoming because that pretty much marked a new step for Spider-Man, especially when Spider-Man was introduced in the MCU for the very first time. So let's just hop into the conversation so I can talk about everything with you guys. So Spider-Man Homecoming marked a new beginning for the character in a way we haven't seen before. After multiple iterations on the big screen, Marvel Studios finally brought Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, giving fans the version they had long hoped for. Tom Holland's Peter Parker felt younger, more relatable, and seamlessly connected to the world of the Avengers. This wasn't just another reboot, it was a reinvention that fit naturally into the larger superhero franchise. One of the best things about this fresh start was that it didn't waste time retreading old ground. You didn't have to sit through another origin story or another Uncle Ben tragedy or another explanation of Peter's powers. Instead, Homecoming dropped us right into Peter's journey as Spider-Man, already established but still learning the ropes. It was refreshing to see the focus shift to his struggles as a high schooler, balancing hero life rather than dwelling on how he got there. The tone of Homecoming also felt lighter and more grounded compared to previous Spider-Man films. While the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb movies had their own strengths, Homecoming leaned into the high school comedy aspect, making Peter's world feel smaller, more personal, and truer to the teenage experience. It wasn't just a superhero movie, it was a coming-of-age film with a superhero twist. This approach made Spider-Man feel fresh again, even for longtime fans who had seen multiple versions of the character. By skipping the familiar beats and giving us a new take on Peter's world, Homecoming truly lived up to its name. A homecoming not just for Spider-Man, but for audiences who wanted a version that felt right at home in the MCU. One of the strongest aspects of Spider-Man Homecoming is how it focuses on Peter Parker's growth as a young hero. Unlike previous versions, this Peter is still figuring things out. He's eager, he's a little reckless, and desperate to prove himself. It's a refreshing change from the usual experienced superhero storyline and makes his journey much more relatable. Throughout the movie, of course, Peter constantly struggles with wanting to be more than just the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He idolizes Tony Stark and wants to be an Avenger, but he doesn't yet understand the responsibility that comes with it. His eagerness to impress Tony leads to mistakes like the Fury incident, where he learns that being a hero isn't just about having powers, it's about knowing when and how to use them. What makes this arc so compelling is that Peter isn't perfect. He messes up, gets ahead of himself, and ultimately realizes that he doesn't need a fancy suit to be Spider-Man. The moment he lifts the rubble off himself after being trapped by Vulture is a defining scene. It's when he truly proves to himself that he can stand on his own. This moment cements his transformation from a kid with powers into a true hero. And by the end of the film, Peter understands that being Spider-Man isn't about seeking approval from the Avengers, because he turns down Tony's offer to join the team, choosing instead to stay grounded and focus on helping the people in his city. It's a major step in his development and a perfect example of why Homecoming is a new beginning for the character. One of the biggest differences between this Spider-Man and past versions is his relationship with Tony Stark. Instead of Uncle Ben being the guiding force in Peter's life, we see Tony stepping into the mentor role. It's a fresh take on Spider-Man's journey and adds a unique dynamic that makes Homecoming stand out. Tony sees potential in Peter, but he also knows that he's still a kid who needs to learn responsibility. Throughout the film, we see Tony testing Peter, giving him opportunities but also holding him back when necessary. The way he takes away the upgraded suit after the furry incident is a powerful lesson. It forces Peter to rely on himself rather than high-tech gadgets, reinforcing that being a hero comes from within. And at the same time, Tony isn't perfect. He's not the best at expressing himself, and he sometimes underestimates Peter's abilities. But despite his flaws, he generally cares about Peter's well-being. His line, "If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it," is one of the most important lessons Peter learns in the movie. It pushes him to realize that Spider-Man isn't just about the suit, it's about the person inside it. Tony's mentorship plays a big role in setting up Peter's future in the MCU. By the end of the movie, Peter has matured, making his own decisions and understanding what it truly means to be Spider-Man. This relationship not only makes Homecoming a fresh take on the character, but also helps define Peter's role in the larger Marvel universe. Spider-Man Homecoming also gave us one of the MCU's best villains in Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture. Because unlike many past superhero villains, Toomes wasn't some world-ending threat. He was a working-class guy who turned to crime after being screwed over by the system. His motivations were clear, understandable, and even a little sympathetic. What made the Vulture work so well was how personal his conflict with Peter became. The big twist that he was Liz's father was an interesting reveal in the movie, completely changing the stakes of the story. Suddenly, Peter wasn't just fighting a villain, he was facing someone connected to his personal life. The tense car ride scene where Toomes pieces together Peter's identity is one of the best moments in the film. Toomes wasn't just a typical mustache-twirling bad guy. He generally cared about his family and saw himself as someone just trying to make ends meet. That's what made him such a compelling antagonist. He wasn't evil for the sake of being evil. He had a reason for what he was doing, even if his methods were wrong. And by the end of the film, Peter makes the decision not to kill or expose Toomes, showing his growth as a hero, and Toomes, in turn, doesn't reveal Peter's identity, adding an interesting layer of respect between them. It's a step that makes Vulture a very good villain and a key reason why Homecoming felt like a fresh, character-driven take on Spider-Man's world. So those are my overall thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming. I really enjoyed this film because, like I mentioned throughout this video, I really enjoyed the fresh take on Spider-Man when it came to the overall direction they were trying to take the character. And it was just really interesting to see all of these different things that I discussed portrayed within this film, so we could see how it takes off from Homecoming to where we are now. And I'm super excited to talk about the other two Spider-Man films when it comes to Far From Home, and of course, when it comes to No Way Home. So it's going to be very fun once I dive into those movies and give my thoughts on them as well. But other than that, that's all I have to really say about Spider-Man Homecoming. So I'm very curious to hear how you guys felt about this film. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Is there anything you guys want to let me know about the film? Be sure to let me know down below. If you enjoy the content on this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links are located in the description below. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a video on the channel. But other than that, I hope all you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be. If it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.